Okay, so some of the new changes to the psychic powers phase section themselves are we talked about focus witchfires a little bit, or we talked about witchfires. You can cast as many as you want as long as you get them off during the psychic phase. That's fine. Then there's focus witchfires, which kind of changed. In the last edition, focus witchfire, you need to roll, the old leadership check, psychic check to get it off. And if you rolled a 5 or less, you got to pick which model it targeted in the squad. You could still look out certain things like that. Now, focus witchfires allow you to pick if your charges exceed the cost, which basically means, like, say it's a warp charge 2 spell and you get it off with a warp charge 3. Now you've exceeded the cost, you get to pick who it targets. And of course there's lookout servers allowed and things like that. There's a new type of spell called the Conjuration, which is basically where you can manifest units onto the tabletop, mostly demons, almost all demons actually. But that's kind of cool because it has a certain range, and they arrive by deep strike. They can be deep strike mishapped, but they can arrive up to the maximum range of the power, which is 12 to 6 inches, depending on which one it is. I think there's 3 of them right now. Nova powers auto hit everything in range, including flyers. They hit enemies in range, so that's you might want to pay special attention to enemies. Because basically, depending on how the allies chart works for your army, some things, if you're not Battle Brothers, you're enemies. So you might not want to inadvertently hit your own stuff. Your own stuff. Air quotes. I invented the air quotes. Anyways, if you rolled the roll of any doubles using the Santic power of the Demonology chart, results in apparels. I don't think that applies to Grey Knights, but I reserve the right to backtrack at any time, even live and not live and recorded. And you just never know. I could be wrong. This whole video could be wrong. Sorry, I tried. Generally, it won't be wrong though. Okay, let's get into the psychic disciplines themselves, because this is where the rubber hits the road, so to speak, I guess. So for Biomancy, Iron Arm actually got changed a lot, which is really interesting because Iron Arm used to be the thing that demon players would try to get, because it used to give them Eternal Warrior. That's it. They used to get Eternal Warrior. And now it's a little bit different. But Iron Arm's still good. It's plus 3 strength and toughness and gains smash. And remember, all smash attacks are AP2. However, you can only perform 1 smash attack now, I think. I think they changed it to only 1. I'd have to look that up. And it also has Armor Bane as well. So you get the 2d6 Armor Pen roll, which is kind of nice. But, if you're already plus 3 strength, you get 2d6 Armor Pen, yeah, I would take that smash attack all day. Enfeeblement is now a 24-inch malediction, -1 strength, toughness, and counts all terrain that the person it was cast on as difficult. Life Leech got a little different. It can restore a wound to a psyker or a model within 6 inches, so that's pretty interesting. It used to be kind of, I got it, that's cool. Oh, I got it, and that is cool, because now I can try to fix this guy over here, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Endurance is where it's at for, I think if you're going to be rolling on Biomancer, you're going to want that Endurance. It's a blessing that can target friendly unit within 24 inches, and the unit gains Eternal Warrior, Feel No Pain 4-up, and I think it is now Warp Charge 2, if I'm not mistaken. It's a little bit, I think it used to be, it definitely used to be Warp Charge 1, and now it's Warp Charge 2. So it went up a little bit. Warp Charge 2 is starting to get on the outer cusp of just being a little bit too ridiculous to cast. If your opponent has decent psychic defense, I think. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, the meta is really going to get set here soon. Divination is interesting changes to Divination. Prescience is still the Primaris, but now it's Warp Charge 2, as it rightfully should be, because, let's be honest, most people always took that and always cast that. Oh, looks like we have a special guest in the background there. That's Andre. He's the boy of the household when I'm not around, so he keeps everybody in line around here. If you're not familiar with the ABC show, the Apocalypse, Britney Spears, and Cat show, you should listen to the Forged Narrative podcast, because I try to squeeze it in whenever Paul Murphy is not around. It's a little hobby of mine. All right, so Perfect Timing is now in the number 3 spot in the divination chart. Precognition moved to the number 4 spot. Misfortune changed to the number 5 spot. Looks like somebody's defending their territory. He really likes the new box set up there, I guess. Misfortune changed to number 5 spot and now targets an enemy unit. And if successful, all attacks against that while shooting. And I think it says all. Yeah, it does. It says all attacks against that unit now have rending. So that's pretty important. Pair that with prescience and get in there and do some damage in the shooting. Get in there and do some damage with the assault phase. Could be rough. Could be rough. I guess what happened was, just in theory, maybe it was too close to some of the Eldar powers because it sounded pretty much the same and did pretty much the same as what's the guide? Doom. It's pretty much the same as Doom, or it was rather. So I guess they changed it. Whatever. Hey, it's for the better. Scryer's Gaze kind of does the same thing, except for you can choose and discard a tactical objective card from your hand if you're playing the Maelstrom of War missions and generate a new one, which I think is pretty neat. It's very tactical, so you might want to get that. It's not a bad War Charge 1 spell. Demonology is the new big stuff that I think got a lot of people talking, and I'm not sure if everybody quite understands. I might not even understand how it works, but from my understanding, if you're going to bring in the demon packs and things like that off the Primaris for the Malefic Primaris, which is summoning, it's a Warp Charge 3 conjuration spell within 12 inches. You basically get a demon pack of troop demon pack, like Bloodletters, Demonettes, Plague Bearers, or Demon blue horrors, the horrors from pink horrors from Tzeentch. It's good, but you don't get to use their bonus until the next turn. Yes, you do get to roll a spell for them, but I'm pretty sure the only ones that can get a spell are the pink horrors, and I don't think they're going to get from the demonology. So you're not going to be able to like daisy chain out these huge demon army kind of things. I think they're only going to get the change power, but I could be wrong. We could get FAQ drops and it's like, hey, they can get everything, and then it gets all weird. But hey, what do I know? I just call it like I see it right now, and that's kind of where I'm at on it. So let's talk about that power right now. So we got the Primaris, which was a summoning we talked about. Number 1 is Cursed, Cursed Earth rather, which is a blessing that gives all demons within 12 inches +1 to their invulnerable save, which is super handy because hey, who doesn't want a 4-up invulnerable, right? Number 2 spot is Dark Flame. It's a Witchfire template that is Strength 4, AP 5, so it's pretty decent, and it has the Soul Blaze special rule and Torrent, so you can throw it 12 inches, which is pretty neat. Infernal Gaze, I think, was one of the Primaris of something recently. I can't remember exactly where it came from, but it's definitely not new in any stretch of the imagination. It is a range 18 beam, strength 3, AP 4, armor bane, flesh bane. So it's good against a lot of stuff with the flesh bane to 2-ups. Strength 3 armor bane. I mean, strength 3 2d6. You're looking at 10 average armor pen. Maybe. I don't think so. I don't think it's that good against vehicles, rather, unless light vehicles, like you got a line of like walkers or something. Maybe it'll work. Number 4 spot is Sacrifice. A unit within 6 inches takes 1 wound and creates a Herald unit. 1 wound with no save possible. It is not removed from play. So if you put it on a multi-wound model, you can even take Feel No Pain against it because it just says no saves allowed, and we all know the whole Feel No Pain thing. You get to take a Feel No Pain against almost everything except Perils of the Warp. Now they specified that, so don't you try it no more. And it creates a Herald unit, so take a couple wounds and a couple guys here and there, and get some Heralds, pew 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 pew, or whatever. I don't know, but it seems cool in theory. Number 5 is Incursion. Warp Charge 3. It's the same as Summoning, except for you get kind of an elite or a fast attack choice demon pack from the Codex Chaos Demons. You get some Blood Crushers, things like that. They're cool. I mean, it's cool. It's Warp Charge 3. It's going to be tough to get off. And the number 6 spot of whoever gets this off, and actually it's going to be pretty rough. Possession. It's Warp Charge 3. The Psyker turns into a greater demon. Yeah. That's going to be nuts. I hope people can get it off. And if you're playing against that, you might want to save you might want to save some power dice because or some dispel dice because it's gonna be a little rough. All right, let's get on to the next ones here. Pyromancy. Pyromancy seems pretty underpowered this edition. It's pretty much unchanged. A couple things moved around. Spontaneous Combustion moved to spot 3. Sunburst to spot 4. And Inferno is now spot 5. Warp Charge 2. I don't care. I hope somebody else does. I can't see anything cool. I mean, there's some good stuff there, and I guess if you got Fate Weaver and you're rolling and you got to take one of these and you get something good, that's cool. But I wouldn't pick it right off the top of my head. But what do I know? Maybe I'm missing something there. Correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free. Telepathy, Psychic Shriek changed to range 18, which is pretty huge because by the time I got within 12 inches, I never ever wanted to use it because I would be trying to assault. It always seemed like, and then I didn't want to kill. They remove models, and I wouldn't be able to assault. So I like the 18. I think we're going to see it more often. I think people are going to get got with it. So that's pretty cool. Terrify moved to spot 3. Puppet Master is gone. We talked about that. Shrouding. It's a new spell in spot 4. It's a blessing that targets the Psyker, and all models within 6 now have the Shrouded rule. Go figure. It's called Shrouded. Pretty cool. I mean, Shrouded didn't change. There's a lot of rumors out there saying this and that. It didn't change, but it's still tactically good because there's a lot of pieces of terrain out there now. There's no more area terrain. There's stuff that does give you 4 up, so getting that down to a 2 up would be super nice. Because it seems like templates are a lot more deadlier in this edition than before. So we'll see how that goes. I definitely would not rule out seeing a lot of Shrouded getting cast around the tabletop now. Invisibility. It's a sleeper. I don't know if a lot of people have picked up on how good this really is. They changed it so that the unit can only be snapshot at, which basically means you need 6s to hit them. But more importantly, it means no templates can hit them, which the importance of that is most D weapons are templates. And D weapons, we're going to see a lot more of those in the game. So having invisibility on, even though it's a Warp Charge 2 to cast, it hasn't changed there, is still going to be pretty good. Yeah, it's good. And I actually think I might have messed that up. I think it can only be hit on what, I'm not sure. It may apply to combat. I apologize for not following through there. It may apply in combat. It may not. It used to, and that was pretty cool. But I might have messed that one up. But if it does, it's even better. But if not, it's still pretty good because it's a cheap and a quick defense to the D weapon issue that may be out there here soon. Hallucination was nerfed. It's still the number 6 spot. They nerfed it a lot. I won't lie. It's Warp Charge 2. I don't think it's worth casting Warp Charge 2 personally. Maybe if it was Warp Charge 1, it has the potential to be game breaking totally randomly. Just because it pins something, or now the number 3 result is one character randomly hits himself in the unit. So even if you get it off, there's a third of a chance it won't even affect what you want it to affect. I just don't think it's worth it personally. Telekinesis, it's okay. They got the Objuration Mechanicum moved to spot 2. That's the one where I think it gives stuff gets hot. It's all right. Shockwave changed to spot 3, and it's now strength 4. I think it's an 18-inch Witchfire, I believe. Levitation is a new one. It's a blessing, targets the self or the squad the Psykers with, and they make a move up to 12 inches away. It's just a normal move, no deep strike, no nothing. They just move 12 inches away. They have to take difficult ground checks as normal, but other than that, difficult. I think it's dangerous rather. Kind of cool, situational maybe. 12 inches. I don't think it's worth it. I think maybe 18. We'd see more use out of this, especially at the. I just don't see it. We'll see how it goes. Telekine Dome is now Warp Charge 2, which is interesting. I believe it's the 5-up invulnerable range kind of thing. Psychic Maelstrom is Warp Charge 3 with 12-inch range. It's a String 10 AP1 Large Blast Barrage. So it's pretty good, but it's Warp Charge 3 and it's only 12-inch range and it's Large Blast. So chances are it might scatter back at you, depending on the actual distance and things like that. So you might want to be really careful with that one. It just came to my attention that we did not go over the Santic chart in demonology, the new Santic, I guess, offshoot of the demonology chart. So let's talk about that. This is the one that rewards Grey Knights for taking it. Everybody else has to perils on doubles, so that's going to be interesting. So the Primaris is banishment, and a lot of these are going to sound familiar. They sound like they're almost straight out of the Grey Knights book, which makes you wonder how far away is the new Grey Knights book. Dun dun dun. Primaris, banishment. All demons within 24 inches get -1 to invulnerable saves, down to a max of 6 up. So that's interesting that the Cursed Earth only bumps 12 inches, but the banishment takes it away 24 inches. Very interesting, right? Number 1, Gate of Infinity moved to the Santic chart. It's cast on the Psyker, remove the unit, and it robs by Deep Strike. Anywhere on the board, not just 24 inches now. But it could mishap and things like that, but you could use Serval Skulls to mitigate that, perhaps. It is Warp Charge 2, I believe. So it's decent. It's pretty good, actually. But remember, if you're not Grey Knights and you use that, you perils on the double. So is it really worth it for doing some things? I don't know. We'll see. Number 2, Hammerhand, also a familiar one. Cast on self, the unit he's with, or just a Psyker, gets +2 strength. Very good. Purge Soul is, number 3 is Sanctuary. Cast it on the self, or, basically the squad win. +1 to invulnerable save. All demons within 12 inches treat terrain as difficult. All terrain is difficult terrain. Open terrain, any other kind of terrain, it's all difficult terrain for them. Number 4, Purge Soul. It's a focused Witchfire within 24 inch range. Basically, it works like Mind War. You compare your leaderships, you roll a d6 on the Psyker versus the target, and if the Psyker's higher, the target suffers 1 wound with no armor saves or cover saves allowed. They do get invulnerable, and they do get Feel No Pain. So, it's very situational, but to try to take out a stock trooper like a Las Cannon or a Power Fist or something like that, this might be it right here. Who knows? Or somebody with the Grimoire of True Names. Yes, excellent. Number 5, Cleansing Flame. It's a Warp Charge 2 Nova Power with 9 inch range, Strength 5, AP 4, Assault 2d6. So let's talk about that for a minute. Oh, it's got Ignore Cover and Soul Blaze special rule. So this might be a sleeper that people haven't picked up on yet. It's very similar to the way the Purifiers work, kind of, I guess, in a roundabout way. It's named the same too. So it's Assault 2d6, and it's a Nova Power with a 9 inch range. So everything within a 9 inch range of that, the Psyker casting that, or a Brotherhood, if it's a Brotherhood manifesting it, you could pick one model in the squad and say it's originating, or the radius or the epicenter is here, and it's going out from there. Everything within 9 inches takes 2d6, Strength 5, AP 4 hits. So if there's multiple units of Tyranids or something Horde-like, it's going to really pop them off really quick, especially with the Ignore Cover and the Soul Blaze rule. Because whatever it doesn't kill outright, the Soul Blaze rule may finish it off the next turn. So that's pretty interesting. It's a Warp Charge 2, so it's right on the cusp of, do I want to risk it? But you know how that goes. I think it's good. I think we're going to see it. I think it's a sleeper, and once people realize that, oh, that's the stuff right there, we're going to see a lot more of it, I think. Number 6 is Vortex of Doom, brought over from the other chart. It's a Warp Charge 3, Witchfire with a 12 inch range. It's Strength D, AP 1, Blast Vortex. If you fail to cast this, which means you do not throw enough dice and get enough 4-ups, basically you don't manifest it. If it's negated by like a Hood or something like that, or Dispel dice, that doesn't matter. If you fail to cast it, it goes off on the center of the Psyker, so that could get dicey. It is Warp Charge 3, so it might be tough to get off in the first place. But Strength D, AP 1, Blast, Vortex, so it's going to stick around and move around the board until you roll doubles on that, and it goes away with the Scatter dice. That gets kind of crazy, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes there, right? I guess that's it. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot to take in. That's why we're gonna break this up. We're gonna spoon feed it to everyone, and we're gonna try to get through it and dissect it and digest it, because it's a lot here. The new 7th edition is it's gonna be good. I can't wait. I'm really glad they came out with it. So we need a lot of help with the game. It was languishing, so to speak. So, like I said, that's it for this one, guys. Make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Check out the blog, spikybitsblog.com, and listen to our podcast, forgethenarrative.com.